Hello, I am Neetika Malhotra, working for iSecure Private Limited as an IAM engineer. In this video, I am going to talk about ServiceNow queue administration. In this slide, we are going to discuss about introduction to ServiceNow, IT service management, incident management, architecture of ServiceNow, version and instance information, a small demo use case and its scenario, our introduction to service catalog integration with ServiceNow via mid-server, and conclusion. What is ServiceNow? I'm gonna explain its definition in parts. First, it is a cloud-based platform. Cloud-based platform means a type of internet-based computing where different services such as servers, storage, and applications are delivered to an organization computer and devices through internet. Cloud services are typically deployed based on the end user requirements. The primary services includes the following. First is SaaS. SaaS is a software delivery method that provides access to software and its function remotely as a web-based service. Dropbox is an example of a software as a service. In Dropbox, we don't need a hard disk. We just need an internet connection to access our data. We are accessing our data remotely. In case of platform as a service, known as PaaS, a computing platform being delivered as a service on which we can build our application. Here, the platform is outsourced in a place of a company or a data center, purchasing and managing their own hardware and software layers. Let us take an example of our ServiceNow. On ServiceNow, we can build our application and use it. Coming to infrastructure as a service, it is a computer infrastructure such as virtualization being delivered as a service. ServiceNow is a platform as a service which is launched back in 2004 by Fred Luddy as a ticketing system. Now we call ticketing system as a incident management. Incident management allows IT support to be organized, focused, efficient, and effective. It helps you to deal with any issue or incident in your organization. We refer incident as a ticket. An incident is an element in a system which is a running report on a particular problem of its status and other relevant data. Now ServiceNow offers end-to-end transformation for your IT services and infrastructure through a single cloud-based platform. It offers product and features like ITSM, governance, risk and compliance, customer service management, and HR services, and many more. IT service management is one of the most popular product of ServiceNow. It gives end-to-end visibility into your business services and IT environment through a single system of record. ITSM tool facilitates the tasks and workflows associated with the management and delivery of quality IT services. These are most heavily used by IT service desk and IT service delivery functions. Some non-infrastructure and operational department such as HR adopt generic ticket handling and workflow capabilities for their own use. In simple terms, ITSM manages IT activities. So for that, there are few processes which supports this. First is incident management. Let's suppose someone faced issue in some development process. What he can do that he can raise an incident in help desk. So technician can troubleshoot at temporary level and we can fix it with temporary resolution. Whereas problem management is deep diving into the issue to give a permanent solution to problem from its root level. Within problem management, change and release management comes into the picture. For example, to fix any problem, any change in module to give a subsequent solution, and to control IT change processes from creation, risk assessment, conflict detection, and approval to environmental changes. To have better understanding of incident process, let me give you an example to relate incident and problem management with respect to its life cycle. The first step is identify or detect. It is when an issue is being recorded or detected to customer support from a customer. After detecting, next step is to classify and prioritize for categorizing and handling the issue. For example, this incident can be related to network or software. Here its urgency level is to decide to very urgent or a low level so that it won't affect any business process or create any loss of business. Third step is to investigate. When you diagnose and understand the issue based on the information given about the incident. The fourth is resolve. To resolve and restore the business, it can be a quick workaround to retain a service. The last and final step is closure. Closure is acknowledgement given from customer side after a resolution is done by investigating team. Let's suppose a number of incidents are rising against same module. Then problem management give its root cause solution to avoid any further disturbance in service regarding that module. Major role in incident management are opened by, assignee and a queue manager. Opened by can be an end user with privileges to raise an incident or a service desk user who will raise incident for anyone else. It is a request for incident with all relevant information about it. Assignee role is for whom incident is being assigned to work on it for investigation and resolving it. It can be a group or a set of members who takes care about a particular part of organization. Queue member is responsible for managing members who are working on incident with respect to its assigned time. He will look after the process followed to resolve any incident. Now coming to its architecture, it is running on Linux operating system with Tomcat as a web server. By default, they are using MySQL database. Java made it platform independent. HTTP based web services is used to load and fetch data. Now, its first layer is user-friendly UI. You can see that there are many integrations and communication protocols like SOAP and REST. Second layer is scripting layer. It is for task and process script used within the ServiceNow. For example, client script Jelly and JavaScript. Database layer is to translation of script into database language. And the last is database itself. ServiceNow is database driven application, so here every table is a web-based form. There are access control rules protect your data within the system. Its main challenge is its database table. We need schema for compatibility issue regarding identity mapping. That's why we have to import update sets for integrations. About its version and instance, your organization data, application and customization resides in a unique software stack called instance. You can configure it to available version of it. They are using alphabetically order for its version releases. Between two version release, they release hot fixes for bugs and issues, and between them they release patches for the updates. With respect to Sailpoint integration with ServiceNow, currently it's common for companies to have hundreds of SaaS applications. Because cloud applications are often easy to obtain, almost anyone can buy or download software, and this can cause issues with shadow IT where employees are procuring applications without IT oversight or approval. So finally, in order to benefit from the full visibility and control provided by identity governance, it's critical that the cloud-based solution connects to and manages both premises system and cloud environments. In order to capture the full advantage of cloud-based identity governance, your organization will need to embrace standards, out of the box business processes instead of customizing the software to fit your existing process. While integrating Sailpoint with ServiceNow, we need to configure application based on its attribute, authentication type such as basic or OAuth 2, its instance URL, and credential to access ServiceNow instance. We need to have provisioning policy for defining roles, groups, and department for users. We need identity mapping for ServiceNow and a proper workflow for a ticketing-based system. Let's talk about workflow. So the use case of workflow is account provisioning in ServiceNow with different approval modes, that is serial, parallel, serial pool, parallel pool, and any. Let me give you a brief introduction of process variables I have used here. Identity name refers to the name of identity being provisioned. The provisioning plan is a representation of the requested items to be provisioned for the respective application, that is, in our case, ServiceNow. And approval mode are type of approval mode that will owner choose for provisioning process. In case of parallel mode, approvals are processed concurrently and we have to wait for all the approvers to approve. The first approval that rejects terminates the entire approval. In case of parallel poll, approvals are processed concurrently but all the approvals will be processed. We don't stop if there are any rejections. In case of serial, approvals are processed one at a time. The first approver that rejects terminates the entire approval. Serial poll is approvals are processed in order, but all approvals will be processed. We don't need to stop if there is any rejection. All the approval set will be saved and it will respond according to the decision made in PostScript. Approving identities will be a list of identities or workgroup names that should be involved in an approval process, in case HR workgroup and admin workgroup. Let's talk about our workflow, and its first step is joiner. This step is to notify that new user is entered in a system with its displayable name. The second step is provisioning plan. This step contains a rule. Birthright rule is created for ServiceNow provisioning. It creates an account request for the ServiceNow application into a plan. This plan will be compiled and expanded into a project, will go through approvals and finally will be provisioned. The third step is approval mode. This is an approval form for owner to choose the approval mode for the identities for provisioning processes like serial, parallel, serial pool, parallel pool, and any. Approvers will make an approval set for the identity. In provisioning process, we choose a sub-process called LCM provisioning to do provisioning process. LCM provisioning will evaluate provisioning project and approval set for entire request. Then use approve and provisioning sub-process for the purpose of approval and provisioning process. This is used after splitting an approval set into individual items to run in parallel. Approver and provisioning sub-process uses provisioning approval sub-process for evaluating approvals and take decision accordingly. In case of serial poll and parallel poll, after script will decide the final decision. Now let's see the full picture, that what will happen when identity get provisioned to ServiceNow after getting all the approvals from all the approving identity at Sailpoint level. Now, based on provisioning policy configured in ServiceNow application at Sailpoint level, will define different roles, groups and department to the identity, and accordingly queues are assigned at ServiceNow level. The next step is then different members or groups of assigned queue will work on it, and in a specific time they also have queue managers on it, and then they will get approved proper roles with respect to their department and designation. According to my use case, I have created 3 types of services at ServiceNow level. Identity who are getting provision from Sailpoint will be assigned to it based on their designation and department. Roles to them will be assigned like user role assigned to who have different department other than 3 department such as HR, finance and sales. Admin department will have catalog editor role. Department head will become queue manager. These are 5 groups I have defined in ServiceNow instance: senior manager, ENH group, finance group, HR group and admin. Similarly, I have created 4 departments. Those are finance, HR, admin and sales. You can see their department heads and managers respectively. Here you can see 3 types of services which I have created according to the department, and I have mentioned their manager and editors as well their table name. Down you can see how the ticket will be raised those respective services. Sailpoint Service Catalog integration with ServiceNow allows user to perform activities such as password changes, approve access, manage account that are configured within the system. The major role is played by mid server. Here, mid refers to management, instrumentation and discovery. The mid server is a Java application that runs as a Windows service or Unix daemon. The mid server facilitates communication and movement of data between ServiceNow platform and external application, data sources and services. The mid server has direct communication with other system. Since it is in the customer network, this is very useful for communicating with unencrypted protocols such as JDBC. If a request is submitted from ServiceNow, then Sailpoint Identity IQ creates or update tickets in ServiceNow using ServiceNow ticket application from Identity IQ. By following 4-step procedure, you can easily do configuration and installation of service catalog integration via mid server. A mid server can be installed on Windows or Linux. A mid server installation needs mid server user credential to connect with ServiceNow instance to validate your own mid server. The mid server only initiates connection. It does not accept inbound communication and does not open any port. This makes it more acceptable to security teams. It offloads work from the instance, enabling to scale out horizontally. At Sailpoint Identity IQ site, we will create a rule with integration application which will use IIQ catalog admin role to access mid server through REST services. And we have to configure service catalog application properties for Sailpoint instance by using system administrator credential at ServiceNow site. Here you can see Sailpoint ServiceNow catalog integration with Sailpoint. The benefits of cloud combined with putting identity governance in the middle of your IT operations give you a power to make your enterprise automated, compliant and secure. Enterprises choose cloud-based identity governance because it's flexible, cost-effective, faster to deploy. There is no infrastructure to manage, and the skill and manpower's requirement are significantly less. Other benefits include simplified management, consumer-like usability, and much more business-friendly method for assessing data. Upgrades don't involve months of planning and testing, and bug fixes are delivered on a daily and weekly basis for all the customers. Thank you for listening me patiently.